didn't really understand what graphic design was until I think high school. The only book we had in the library was one on Nazi propaganda. So everything from high school looks like Nazi propaganda.
I decided to run for senior class president. I did my own posters. And at that early age, I realized that sans serif all caps meant that you're serious.
I met Noreen my second year at CalArts. It was like mohawks and tattoos on the face. I'm the only boring, preppy person there. And I look across the hall and there's Noreen. It was just a very, very shallow beginning of like, well, you have preppy clothes, so I'll like you.
And then we go play tennis, so.
Lou Danziger was my mentor. And so he was coming from that real classic graphic design with a big G. And then on the other side, April Bryman was teaching, and she was bringing that sort of new wave sensibility. My first job was working as the designer for the New York Public Library, which was the best job ever. You know, you start to grow roots. Either I would stay there for good, or I'd have to come back to LA if I wanted to be in LA at any point.
I have to do better than Sean. If he went east, I'd go far east. I went to Japan and went on 115 interviews. 103 was Lander and Associates. I realized that I'm too tall to be a typical Japanese woman and too outspoken. Coming back to the States was wonderful. Sean was now working with April Bryman. He said, you know what, we have a position open, so why don't you come on down?
Well, we were both working at April's, and we would spend an eccentric amount of time at Disneyland. And one day I just said, you know, we are chicken shit. We're not doing it ourselves. It was the early 90s, and so much of the work tended to be dystopic. Philosophically, we just were so opposed to that, and it just seemed obvious we need a point of view.
Sean probably felt that I couldn't remember a mission statement, so he made it as simple as possible. Clarity, purity, and resonance.
Could we make work that is indeed clear, that the message is clear?
I think you have to simplify everything. It just can't be the look and feel. It was definitely about the business as well. We realized that Sean was amazingly quick, efficient, and had a vision about what the creative should look like. And for me, it was about breaking down what the client's needs were. The reason why I handle more of the business and Sean does more of the creative is because he's ugly. No client wants to look at him. Of course you would choose me over Sean any fucking day. I'm like the Hello Kitty of graphic design.
One of our first projects that was a good success and helped embed some of the ideas that we were working with was the Pacific Design Center.
We got to work with Robert Redford at Sundance, which was totally cool. It made my mom's day. We worked with Barton Myers, we worked with Ellery Beckett, we worked with Frank Gehry, MTV, VH1, Nickelodeon, Nick Jr.
Graphic design should look effortless and be somewhat playful.
There's a group of designers out there that thinks that this has to be extremely serious. So they discounted Sean and I, but let's be honest, really funny people, really fucking smart. Our work is definitely West Coast. We think very differently.
So there's this veneer of niceness. But in reality, the messages can be much more complex and deeper. If other designers are all striving to be the Sex Pistols, we're the Beach Boys.